Hey YouTube, it's IC. Welcome back to Best Tech Info and Rumors. This is the 196th episode. Alright, and to start off, I just wanted to remind you guys that recently I did take a 2-week working break from posting videos here on my iCrackUriDevice channel, and I actually posted videos that I deemed to be breaking on my secondary ICUID channel. If you aren't already subscribed to that, just be sure to do so now at youtube.com/ICUID. Again, I did take the 2-week break to both work on Best Tech Info, kind of redesign things, implement a new theme, and start posting content on a regular, if not daily basis, as well as work on some major free app life updates. There have been some new additions to the service as of late, including things like extra rewards and prizes and new sponsors. We're actually working on a redesigned platform too, and some amazing new features. If you haven't visited the service in a while, just be sure to open the free app life app. You may be surprised, and if you haven't downloaded free app life yet and you're interested in earning paid apps from Apple's App Store for free legally while simultaneously supporting the developers of said applications, just be sure to visit bit.ly/getfreeapplife or freeapplife.com inside of mobile Safari, and then once downloaded, install sponsored apps for points and redeem said points for various prizes. And now let's quickly talk about jailbreaking. There's been a really exciting development on the jailbreak scene. A new untethered utility to Jailbreak 7.1 and 7.1.1 has finally been released. It's dubbed Pangu. It was sort of an out-of-the-blue release. It was definitely a surprise for most, and it wasn't actually from the Evaders, who historically have proven themselves to be the only active dev team on the jailbreak scene. It was created by Pangu, or the Pangu team, who are a group of Chinese hackers that were actually financed by a third-party Chinese company with monetary interests of their own in jailbreaking to release, again, an untethered jailbreak utility and bundle it with some somewhat questionable software. However, that software is totally optional, and as I actually demonstrated during my untethered jailbreak tutorial, you can choose to opt out of it. Now, as for the devices Pangu supports, it includes the iPhone 5S, the iPhone 5C, the iPhone 5, iPhone 4S, iPhone 4, as well as the iPad Air, the 2nd generation Retina display iPad mini, the original iPad mini, the iPad 4, the 4th generation iPad, the 3rd generation iPad, the iPad 2, although there are some minor issues with some select iPad 2 models that they're working on correcting now, as well as the 5th generation iPod Touch. So if you own any of those devices on iOS 7.1 or 7.1.1, definitely take advantage of the opportunity to jailbreak now, because it won't last for long. The jailbreak will definitely be patched, and it actually utilizes expired developer enterprise certificates, which is actually kind of ingenious. I'll have some more details on that from Jailbreak Pangu, formerly Jailbreak iOS Evasion, down below in the more info if you want to read up on it. But essentially, it uses those expired developer certificates for the initial unsigned code execution so that it can then perform the remainder of the jailbreak while again running unsigned code on the iOS device. So that way they preserve exploits for what will presumably be use in the future. And if you're at all hesitant about the untethered Pangu jailbreak utility, don't be, because Muscle Nerd of the Evaders, Sarek, the creator of Cydia, Ionic, I Hate Snow, as well as myself, have all tested and confirmed Pangu's legitimacy. It can again successfully jailbreak, and if you opt out of the installation of third-party software, it won't install anything else on your device aside from, again, just jailbreaking it, so long as you download the official version of Pangu, which of course can be found in the article that I have linked to down below in the more info, as well as the untethered jailbreak tutorial, which I actually first created on my ICUID channel before actually pushing out a more in-depth and detailed video that answers almost all of the commonly asked questions related to Pangu. So if you still feel you have more questions on the utility, watch that video. You'll also learn how to jailbreak, and I guarantee you all of your questions related to Pangu will be answered there prior to the demonstration of jailbreaking 7.1.1 fully untethered. And now also, as I mentioned toward the beginning of this video, there has been quite a bit of tech coverage on Best Tech Info as of late. It's certainly an improvement. If you haven't visited Best Tech Info recently, just be sure to navigate to besttechinfo.com inside of your browser. I recommend viewing it on desktop for now. We're currently working on a revised theme for mobile devices, so it's best to experience it again on desktop. And I'm not going to really go over all of the articles in this episode, at least for this week. And the reason for that is because A, there are quite a bit of articles, and I'm not really going to link to all of them. I'll just have some links to the mini sites down below, which again will then have links to all of the articles that I mentioned in this video. And B, because I actually previously recorded this entire episode and my camera didn't save it properly. The file was somehow corrupted, so I have to re-record this now. So in light of that fact, I'm just going to go over some titles and maybe give some brief information on the various topics. So starting off, let's talk about one of the most exciting things being Apple's upcoming iPhone 6. So up until now, we've only really seen mock-ups and various schematics of the forthcoming device. Now, however, an alleged iPhone 6 rear housing was leaked and publicized. Of course, it made its rounds across the internet. I definitely recommend checking it out if you guys have yet to see it. As of now, its legitimacy can't really be confirmed, but it's something to pay attention to, and we can definitely cross-reference it in the future with other various inevitable leaks. Beyond that, as far as leaks are concerned, we may very well have been given our first look at Apple's upcoming 6th generation iPad, or the iPad Air 2, which will, according to this leak, feature a new Touch ID sensor and slight design changes. 250 new emoji characters have also been announced and may soon be making their way to iOS and Android-based devices. Also, Apple released iOS 8 Beta 2, and on my secondary iCrackUriDevice channel during my working break, I created a video demonstrating how it's technically possible to upgrade to the beta firmware without having a device's UDID officially registered on an iOS developer account. And again, keep in mind that's for educational purposes only. And also, iOS 8 Beta 2's changelog is linked to in an article that I wrote previously on BestTechInfo. And continuing on with the news, Amazon announced their new Fire phone, which will ship later in July with a 3D interface and some other interesting features. And interestingly, it's been discovered that a new and peculiar iPhone 6 sensor is referenced in iOS 8 Beta 2. I recommend reading through the article. Also, EA announced a massive sale in which the company dropped the price of 55 of their games to merely $1, again for iOS-based devices. Also, in a new report, Reuters attempted to nail down things surrounding the iWatch, such as its potential release date, features, and various physical aspects of the device. And along the same lines, a concept UI was posted that's based on some of the same physical features as outlined in the article from Reuters. So again, both of those are definitely interesting, especially if you're curious to see how Apple's rumored upcoming iWatch will pan out, if at all. And now, an app that simply sends yo raised $1 million, topped the app charts, and surprisingly did all of that while still being full of numerous exploits. Now, I wrote an article regarding 14 previously premium paid iOS App Store apps that were free for a limited time. If you missed out on it, just be sure to check out the article now for the previous list. And now, finalizing things and going over some of the other articles on Best Tech Info, Apple is rumored to release iOS 7.1.2 in the foreseeable future. They allegedly gave their carrier partners a sign-off date of June 27th. Now, currently, we're unsure how this update will affect the untethered Pangu Jailbreak. However, the utility does essentially have code to support 7.1.2, so long as Apple doesn't patch the vulnerability's Pangu exploits. And now, moving on to Google Wear. During Google's annual I/O conference, they showcased 3 manufacturers and products for Android Wear in more depth. And also recently, Apple updated their 5th generation iPod Touch, at least sort of, the lower end version. They issued a new 16GB model that effectively replaced the inferior 16GB iPod Touch that lacked a rear-facing camera, was built with a lower cost microphone, and didn't feature an iPod Touch loop, with a full-fledged, no-compromise 16GB iPod Touch that more closely matches the features of the 32 and 64GB 5th generation iPod Touch models. And now finally, I wanted to discuss 2 awesome features that are coming to YouTube soon. The first of which is actually the addition of 60 frames per second video upload and playback, which will definitely help the gaming community. And the second one is actually the eventual rollout and implementation of a tip jar for YouTubers. Alright, and that's it for this video. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, just be sure to rate it up and leave a relevant comment down below in the comment section. Once your comments have been posted, don't forget to check out the all-new Best Tech Info free app life to potentially earn iOS applications for your iPhone, iPad, or iPod Touch. And be sure to answer the question of the day in your comment. This time around, let me know what you guys think about the supposed leaked rear casing for Apple's iPhone 6, or the rear back housing, that is. Again, just be sure to let me know down below in the comment section or on Best Tech Info. And if you guys want to be updated more often, such as when I release new videos and cover jailbreak topics, just be sure to like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, add me on one of your circles inside of Google+, follow me on Instagram at ICUID, and subscribe to my secondary channel, again, youtube.com/ICUID. And until next time, this is ICU signing out.